Okay, today we're going to have a demo for you on a Tschudin grinder. This is a nice little machine made over in Switzerland. Actually, it's a very accurate, very precise grinder. When we took it apart, the scraping on here is amazing, and we do have some photos of that. It's a very solid, well-built machine, very quiet. I have a lot of knowledge on this machine because I actually worked for this company for about 8 or 9 years and continued to service them after that. So what we have here is a fully automatic machine with SPARKOUT, plunge feed, pick feed, traverse grinding, rapid in, rapid out, variable speed on the headstock, fine adjustment for the taper on the tailstock, automatic infeed. It's equipped with in-process gauging. This is the MARPOSS in-process gauge, and this is the amplifier. It's all wired into the machine, but it does not have to be used. The machine can be used with or without the gauge. The tailstock here, for those of you who know about grinding, I mean, this has never been touched by the wheel. It's never been hit. Whoever ran this machine, and I know who had it, it was a big company, and this was doing a very fine job. And whoever ran the machine knew what they were doing. It's immaculate condition. It's also set up with a semi-production kind of a thing with the gauge, with this hood down, with the cycle start switch. If you don't want to use that, you can just put this up out of the way and select with the switch here that you want to use it the normal way, which would be to have your work head here start. Now this is adjustable, your variable speed. Next thing would be to bring the slide in. So now our wheel head just moved in close to our part, and you want to make sure that you weren't hitting the part. And then on the next lever here, we would either start our table moving. In this case, we're traverse grinding, and you can slow that right down. And as you see, each time we make a pass, we feed. Now with this knob here, we can adjust only for the left side or only on the right side, or like it is now, feeding on both sides. I want to stop my table, go to 0, and we can send the head back. This automatically retracts the amount we just took off. If I want to take a little more, I can release the clutch here and engage this again, and then start my cycle again. Work is turning, wheels coming in, and now I'm going into the feed mode. Now I'm in plunge. I got to open up my plunge feed valve here, and we start to feed. This has the dual plunge feed, a coarse feed and a fine. So when I get to a certain point right there, we can set a finer feed rate so that it'll feed fast to one point and then feed to a fine. If you don't like using the two feeds, you can also bypass that. So that's that there. It's a 14-inch grinding wheel. Machine is currently wired for 440 volts. It's equipped with a dead stop here that's mounted solidly on the table and on the base of the machine, and this is adjustable. You can slide this around. It's got almost a micrometer type adjustment to finely tune it in there. We're going to take a break at the video here. We're going to put the gauge over by the wheel, and we're going to kind of try and simulate how it would run with an in-process gauge. But if we're not actually grinding any work pieces, you know, the gauge is just going to go in, it's going to close on air, and the machine will retract automatically. It won't wait to get to 0 and then spark out, which we haven't even shown you yet, so let's do that. Let's go back to the plunge feed. And if I turn my SPARKOUT on up here, this is your SPARKOUT timer. When it gets to 0, it will now goes into the fine feed. And when it gets to 0, we're going to start a SPARKOUT time. Now it's at 0. And depending on how you have this set here, it's going to stay here until it kicks out on its own. And when it kicks out, the coolant, which we do have for the machine, which goes behind it, it's a large paper band system. It has a heater in it that's connected to the machine. All the wiring is done. You just have to put it in there to monitor the temperature. As you can see, this has a collet. I don't know if I mentioned we have a collet closer here. What else is there? That's pretty much it. We're going to close it out, and we're going to come back later when we have the in-process gauge hooked up and simulate how that would work. Thank you. Okay, we're back now, and we've got the gauge moved from the side of the machine over to in the work area there. And like I said before, this has quick disconnect plugs on it, so this can be removed easily. So here's the MARPOSS amplifier. This is a new one to me. I'm used to the E series. This is a P3 from MARPOSS. And basically what it is an analog scale here, kind of like an analog voltmeter. And you have 0. And this gauge head, if we swing over here, acts as a kind of like a caliper that rides on the workpiece. We're looking at a very expensive piece of equipment here. Rides on the workpiece while it's being ground. There's lots of little adjustments and little ways of making sure that this is accurately going in and out and riding on the part the right way. And you have to keep in mind uninterrupted cuts or interrupted cuts if you're grinding a spline. These things are designed to be able to go over that. All that stuff has been taken care of and thought out 40 years ago. These have just evolved since then. But you've got usually your coarse feed, and the needle is going to go down as the wheel is moving in through the feed of the machine. And as the fingers close around the workpiece, you're going to have this needle coming down. Finally, it gets to the end and it bounces back to the bottom scale or the top scale, which is much finer, until you come down and you turn on one of these lights here. And these are all settable by, it used to be a little screw you'd use here. I'm not even sure how you do it here, but you set your firing points to come on, say the fine feed to start 5/10 from 0, and the stop feed to stop maybe 1/2 from 0. So you're relying on the machine sparking out or just the pressure alone to go with the other 50 microns or whatever it is you need to get it down to 0. The machine will not stop grinding until this needle gets to 0. And when it gets to 0, it kicks out. The wheel goes back, the gauge goes off, the coolant shuts off, and it's really pretty cool. And if it's not exactly the right size, all you got to do is make a tiny little adjustment right there. Doesn't care if your wheel wears down, it's just the greatest thing. But if you're not doing production, it's really, production meaning more than, I don't know, a dozen parts or so. But it's a great system, and it comes with the machine, and that's about that for that. So anyway, I'm going to show you how it runs. We're going to turn it on, and you're going to see a bunch of lights going here. Goes through all these checks, and the needle bounces around. And used to be you could touch these things and find out where they had the points set, but I don't know how to do this one, and I'm not going to mess around with it. It's not going to work anyway because it has to have a part. But when we do the cycle now, the gauge goes in, and once those fingers close on themselves, and these actually need air. There's actually a really neat connection on the back of this amplifier that's air electric. So that's what you're seeing there. It's kicking out. It's not getting to 0 here. It doesn't pay attention to this feed rate. I mean, you want to have it going nice and slow. What it pays attention to is when those fingers go past 0. And as they close on nothing, it just kicks right out. So there you go. That's the MARPOSS in-process gauge and the amplifier. There's a book on it. There's plenty of information from MARPOSS. They're really great guys. Shout out to Colin Ames if you see this video. And let me show you one more thing. The people who had it wanted to have kind of a foolproof setup. So they switched that switch over there to the #1 position or the auto position. And now you can do your cycle from here with the cover down. The only way this button works is if you have this hood down. All right, so one last thing I need to do is to turn the grinding wheel on here for you, because I haven't done that yet. Whoop. Well, this is interfaced with the machine. If you don't have the key in the right position, you'll find that you can't turn this anymore. It's hydraulically locked. That's done purposely. So let's. What was I going to show you? The wheel. Okay. Thank you, assistant. So there you go. It's a hydrostatic bearing in there. One of the best in the market. I've never seen one go bad. The noise you hear is the air being sucked through this motor to keep everything nice and cool, and the wheel spindle cool. It's done that way on purpose. The hydraulics are built into the machine, they're in the base. After a while, the whole machine gets to a certain thermal stability, and that's what they wanted. If you're looking for precision, if you're looking for a small parts grinder, batch grinding, this is the machine for you. Tschudin.